What is good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the We Love Gaming podcast. I don't even know what episode we on, so I don't even care about that shit no more. It's just
Episode random number.
yeah, we just chopping it up again. You know what I mean? But I'm your co-host, Gali Sovereign. Of course, I got my bro with me, Sir Knight. How you doing today, man?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Just chilling on here, getting ready to start back at work. I start next week. Treading that, of course, but
I heard it's a lot of kids starting school again and stuff, man. Summer vacation's over.
Summer vacation's done, man. It was a nice ride. It was fun. It was kind of like a stay-at-home dad this summer because I was just watching my daughter the whole time, dude.
Oh, was your wife out working?
She's walking now. She's walking already. It's like ridiculous.
Oh yeah, man. Sammy's getting up there, huh?
Yeah, she just don't stop, dude.
That's good,
She
man.
don't stop. She's rocking all over the house.
That's good, man. They're a lot more of a handful when they got legs, bro.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to do. Was
stop it from everything.
I was trying to like. You've been in my house before, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, right when you first walk in, it's like the dining room table.
Right. And do you still got the game shelf in there?
Yeah, the game shelf's in there. I moved the game shelf I'm gonna move that into my office, and then I got rid of the dining room table, so it's just an open place.
Why you get rid of the dining table?
Basically, just gonna make that a play area for her.
Really?
Walk all over the place and play with her toys and stuff, and just like
the little foam mats down and all that shit.
Probably put some mats down, at least some rugs, something soft. But like because like right now, you've been into my kitchen, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know how I have the couches in the L shape facing the television.
Yeah.
Well, I did this little Jimmy rig where like if you're looking at my television from my kitchen, you know, my couch goes like this. Well, on the other side, it's wide open, so you can get into there and sit in the couches. I built like a little like attachment to my end table, and I put a fence in from my end table to the
little
wall,
gate. Yeah,
and I gate in. So she's like inside that little gate area while like I'm watching TV or while my wife and I are watching television. But the thing is, man, like of course she wants to climb on everything. She wants to get into everything. She wants to
climb explore, on man. Yeah.
So I was like, I'm tired of this, dude. Like I got all this stuff all over the couches. I got all these like random things like just on the seats so she doesn't climb on them. Like I'm barricading the couches. Like just
like so extra pillows and shit on the couch so she can't get a good grip.
Like extra pillows and stuff. Yeah, exactly. Or she thinks it's like too high. So like she can't get on there, you know? And it's like, this is a pain, man. So I wanted to get rid of like everything. Just so it's like an open space. So there's like, I can just like, you know, chill or whatever. And she can play. And like, there's no worry or concern that she's going to hurt herself. Like I can walk away for a minute. I know she won't hurt herself. Like, it's just kind of like much more peace of mind because like the little area we have is working, especially with that gate because she kind of just stays in there. But you can't leave her alone in there because she'll climb up onto the couch and she'll easily fall off the back. Like she'll go kill herself instantly if she's on a mission, you know, to kill herself.
It's pretty durable though.
Like she's always trying to kill herself, and so it's kind of like 24/7 job trying to keep this thing alive, you know. So
yes, sir. The job that never ends, the gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah, so you know me, I'm like always trying to. You know, I'm always trying to engineer a way. You know, I'm trying to engineer a way, man. So, like, that's my plan right now. And then, like, I was thinking about kind of turning the so we're going to do our backyard probably, like, big time. Like, do a big time backyard overhaul.
Yeah, and I remember you said your wife wanted to
a bit. And then put some, like, maybe, like, a dining table out there underneath some, like, structure. And then, like, if I have family over for dinner or whatever, we'll eat outside, you know?
Yeah.
And so instead of that dining room table, we'll eat outside.
Okay.
And that'd be good most of the year. The summer months might be a little hot at night, but the majority of the year it should be pretty nice out there with no bugs and stuff. Down here in SoCal, it's pretty nice. But I was also thinking about turning that family, the room I have right now where my TV's at, you're aware of. I was thinking about turning that into like a theater room, right? So kind of like switching the direction. So you know where the TV's at on the wall right now? I was going to put it on like this wall on the other side and then like chairs going back to the sliding glass door and like have a couple rows and then like maybe add like the little tables. So like if my sister comes over for dinner, we can just like sit at the chair, like the movie theater chair with the table like eat dinner on that, watch a movie, rather than having like a dining room table. Like I'm trying to get rid of that dining room table because, dude, a dining room table, like this, man. I swear, like that entire front room that you walk in my
It
house, I
takes the whole
swear,
fucking room
it's
up, dude.
just the room is for the table. Like that whole entire room is for a single table. And it's like I don't even use this room except when like family comes over for dinner once a month, and it's like I get 500.
Because you and your wife probably just eat on the couch, right?
Yeah, we eat on the couch. We don't go in there and eat. And we also have a kitchen table, so we can eat on that too. But like we never go into the big dining room to like eat in there.
What about to play
board games? Family is over. Like if the family comes over, we do. But like family doesn't come over, but like maybe once or twice a month in my life, and that's all it gets used. So it's almost like 500 square foot of my house never gets touched. It's like I might as well not exist. I'm like, I can't be having that, man. I got to use every inch of this home, especially with this kid trying to go everywhere and climb everywhere. And if we ever want to get another one, it's just going to get more crammed. So I got to find like more and more. I got to find more and more space. So I was just ready to get that stupid giant table out of there and just like open that up to be used.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of like where we've been doing, man. Like planning out, house changes and stuff.
It might be a little easier to just put your theater in the very front. Like by the front door. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we talked about making that room the theater room.
And then you could just make the living room right there where the kitchen's at, just make that her play area.
Yeah, there was something we talked about why that wouldn't work as well. I can't remember what it was. But yeah, we were throwing the idea between the two.
Yeah, because you might be able to, because you still got that whole wall right there that's on the backside of your room.
Yeah, on the other side. And then put the couches,
Yeah, you could probably get you a nice, like, some type of blackout curtain and just makeshift it to give you some holders. So you would just cover the door up and everything. Like when you about to have a movie,
my wife's saying that. Yeah, these little things up there that you let go and kind of just drop.
Yeah. And just drop it and it just everything's flat now. You know what I mean? And you could put it right over that walkway into like your hallway, the kitchen, and all that stuff. You put another one there to just boom, and you sealed off now. And it's a little sound barrier too. A little slight one, but that would be
we talked about that room. I can't remember what the reason was why we were thinking. I don't remember now off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Oh, I think one of the reasons was I want to have a TV wherever the playroom's at. So whoever's ever watching her, whether it be my mother-in-law or my mom or me or my wife, there's like a TV in there. Yeah, something that they can watch or put on for her. And in the room I currently have right now, if I left it the way it was and just made that the playroom and I put a couch in there, the TV might be like, the angle might be bad for the television. And then the couch would have to be moved. And then you have the issue where she can climb up over the couch and fall off the back. So you got to be all vigilant again. Like I'm trying to drop the vigilance aspect here.
Yeah, I mean, what about if you just took your mounted TV that's behind you and use your mount in the living room?
Yeah, this one works well. I can like adjust and pull out and stuff.
But, and that way it would be up high. Maybe you do a little fishing, or you just put some shelving up there or something like that. To give you something that's not so low that she can grab all that stuff and pull.
Yeah, and then also the other room is bigger for her, which is a good idea for a theater room, but it's like bigger also, so it's like more space for her rather than the current family room that's smaller. Like the kitchen combo family rooms, she wouldn't have access to the kitchen, so I'd have to block her off from that with like a fence. Yeah, and then like that family room is a little bit smaller for her. Where the bigger room, when the one you walk into, dude, I take her in there because it's empty right now. We gave some of that. We got a table out of there already. So now it's like empty. It's ready to be modeled. And like I'll take her in there just to like she'll play with her little, radio flyer or whatever, and like she'll be like walking. Just excited as heck, dude, walking around in there because it's so much room and space. She'll go back and forth. She'll go like back and forth, like doing laps. It's funny.
That's so.
Anyways, lots of that, man. Right now, lots of that. And then I'm like, I got this room here that I kind of want to redo.
Yeah, man.
And make it a gaming room. like you see online, all those guys that got dope gaming rooms, man. Like I want
all that cool shelving with the lights.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. I ain't got enough trinkets for that, man. I would buy all that shit, and then I'd have to go spend money to put shit on that shit. So.
I was telling my wife, I was like, yeah, dude, I could do that. Like I'll just buy like a broken Nintendo, like a one that's I'm never gonna play, but it will just be like
shelf all that shit.
Prop or whatever, just like on the shelf, all those old consoles that I don't have anymore.
Yeah,
like just go buy broken versions of them.
So that's what I need to do on my other side of the room, to the left of the screen and all that. I wanted to put some shelves up and then just make that with all my consoles and stuff like that, and line up, all of my old consoles that I have and stuff. But I tried to turn on that PS3. My sister still has my PS3, but that bitch wouldn't. It turned on, but it wouldn't work. So I don't know what was going on with it. Yeah, I guess it's been ages since I turned the shit on.
Yeah.
The moment I got a PS4, that shit was in the closet. But I guess it's just done. So right now it's just a relic that looks nice. I don't know how to break them down relic, and fix them and stuff like that. But yeah,
man, it's a total relic.
Yeah, for sure, man. But what games you been playing?
This week I've been playing lots of Hearthstone because a new expansion came out. Castles of Nathria or whatever. A new expansion came out. And really, I just been basically playing Hunter still. I told you about the Hunter Quest, the Quest Hunter.
Right.
I was trying to get Mark to play with, but I kind of updated that deck and I'm playing that game. So that's been pretty fun. And then of course I was playing some Outriders, just farming. It does get a little tedious because the new end game content, it's actually like the exact same bosses and the exact same like trail to the end of it every single time. So you're kind of just doing like that same exact thing like over and over, where it's similar to what we were doing, but it's longer. Like what we were doing in the marsh or something. I can't even remember what the name it was.
Yeah, it was something like that.
Doing it.
Yeah, because it was the only one that you could actually do within the time limit. Like even with, I mean, like not the best, like the meta builds or whatever that they had that like was perfect. But if you had good pieces and stuff like that, to just be able to do it in time, it was only that one. Like everything else, I felt like we couldn't do it to get like the max amount of shit you needed. So
yeah, exactly. And so it's kind of just like they're longer. It's longer than that. Like that was pretty cool.
But it's not timed though, right?
No, it's not timed. Like we would finish that in probably like 10 minutes, right? Like it would take us like 10 minutes to do that thing.
Yeah, I think like 10 to 15, something like that.
Yeah, like 11 minutes or something.
Through it. Right.
Yeah, like this is much longer. And I get probably like 2 to 4 legendaries a run. So it's pretty long and I remember doing that marsh dungeon and we got like 2 or 3 legendaries like when they buffed it. It was like 2 or 3 legendaries we got every time you crack the pod once you finish the run. So this felt like it was a lot of more work. So it's pretty long to get through the whole entire thing. It's pretty long. Like I'd rather do the marshland over and over again just to get the gear.
So it's same. It's the same outcome of gear, just a longer trek that isn't timed.
Yeah, it's supposed to be more gear, but as far as legendaries, it's less. So it is more total gear, but like you never use the freaking purples. You just dismantle them all.
Yeah.
So like you do get a lot of gear, but it's fodder. Yeah, like all you're looking for really is the legendaries because you're trying to get the legendary mods. You're trying to add those to your collection, and then you're trying to find the legendary pieces you want. Or you're trying to upgrade your legendary pieces you currently have. And so it's like you don't really care so much about the purples. So it is more gear like that. So, when they say it's more gear, they're right. But what I'm looking for is more legendaries. And so it's like you really only get a legendary from killing the bosses. And there's 3 bosses. And like they all drop like 1 piece. And then like the very last boss is pretty tough though. Like there's been a couple runs where like I couldn't beat the last boss at like my highest apocalypse tier. They changed it. It's not like world tier anymore. It's like apocalypse tier.
Yeah.
And so like I couldn't like beat the final boss on like the final apocalypse tier. And so, like in the marshlands, there isn't like really a boss to fight. They're just like the big like brood mothers or something like that. Like the elites, the big elites. Yeah. These have like legitimate bosses. And like the middle boss takes like a legitimate
amount of time.
7 minutes, 8 minutes.
Yeah.
Because you have to do like this thing. You can't do damage to it. Like the way it works is like it's like a raid boss. Like you go in there, you shoot at the guy, and then he gets this shield around him that makes him invincible. You can't deal any damage to him. So what you have to do is you have to find this pillar that's like energizing the shield. Go stand on the pillar, and stand on that and fight mobs of dudes until like you've stood on it long enough to charge it to break.
Are you talking about the little platform?
Yeah, like it's a platform with a pillar on it, and you got to stand on the platform to activate the pillar. That after so many minutes of you standing on it, breaks his shield. And
yeah, it's kind of like the second round of the marsh.
Yeah, it's like the second round of the marsh.
That big one that came in, and you had to like stand in the center to get the timer to run down and shoot the mobs. And sometimes you had to move, but then you had to get right back to it in order to get the timer to keep going.
But this boss, it's crazy because you shoot it, the pillar activates, you go stand on it, the pillar blows, and his shield's gone now, and you shoot him again. But then his shield comes back, and now it's 2 pillars you have to do. So you got to go stand on one for like 4 minutes. That breaks, but since the other pillar still activated, he still has his shield. So you have to run around.
So you got to go into the other one.
You got to run around the freaking room to get to the other one. And then the final one is like 2 more. So it's a long fight. And like it drops 1 and 2 legendaries if you're lucky. Like you'll get 1 legendary, but it will drop 2 if you're lucky.
And that's the final boss?
Dang, man. No, that's the middle boss.
That's just the middle. So you can get can you get legendaries from the first boss, the second boss, and the third boss?
Yeah.
Or just the second and the third boss?
No, you get a legendary from the first one too, and the first one's really quick. So I always feel like I just abandon.
Just farm the first one, leave, and
farm the first one over and over again. Right? Just farm the first one. Because that middle one's a pain in the ass. And then the third one is a little easier than the middle one, but it's strong, so like I'll die. Like I'll never die on like the first 2, but like the last one, he's not as tedious. Like you have to do all these little hoops, like the middle one to like deal damage. But it's just it's frustrating because you have to actually like he hits you really hard. Like you'll just die. Like you'll be like trying to survive and you're just like, oh, I can't handle it. You'll just die. And it's like, damn, that's really hard. I don't want to fight that all over again. And so that's kind of like Outriders makes me kind of want to go back to just doing like the marsh run or whatever, just to get loot. And then maybe go back once I feel like I'm geared up, go back to that, whatever it's called, Trials of something, and do that to get all the apocalypse tiers, level up the apocalypse tiers, because it doesn't seem like you gear up as fast as the apocalypse tiers move, man. Like it's ridiculous, but
that game's always been really grindy, I guess those types of games have been really grindy, like if you look at like Destiny and that, you know what I mean? They just been.
I do like how I can play and listen to a podcast or whatever. That's one of the dopest things about it. Is like I can have something running in the background.
Story or anything like that. That you care about.
You're just pointing and shooting, man. Like you're just like it's an arcade game kind of. So you can like definitely like listen to something while you play, which is cool.
Yeah, Naraka, man, you can't even listen to anything while you're playing Naraka. You got to listen to the game because you got to hear footsteps, sword swinging, grappling hooks, like all of that shit. You got to pay attention because somebody might shoot some shit right by you. If you're not paying attention, you get hit up, man.
That's too try hard for me, dude.
It's just one of those things. It's like
look at you, man, becoming a try hard, dude.
Nah, not at all.
You're catching the try hard bug.
It's not necessary, but to get the jump on somebody who think they got the jump on you. Like you gotta be listening. You know what I mean? Yeah, you remember how it was the first time I got those Bose speakers from my computer?
Yes.
And then I was just playing a video game and you could hear the footsteps in Call of Duty, and I was like, oh fuck, man! Like I didn't even know they had footsteps. Like, you hear everything else except the footsteps when you're playing, but I can hear all that pitter patter shit, and you like, oh, somebody's coming. You know what I mean? It's just like that, man. You have to be paying attention, and you'll just hear some like, and you be like, damn, what the fuck is that? And you might check your boys like, hey man, you over there swinging? I think somebody's on me. You turn around and somebody's grapple hooks you and then come sliding in, and you know what I mean. You just gotta fight. So that shit's fun though. I still gotta play with you. Let's play tonight, man. Let's play tonight.
No, actually, I'm going to my sister's to play board game night tonight. So tonight's off limits, man.
Bust. Maybe. What are you guys playing? You guys know what you're playing, or you guys?
We don't even know where we're playing, man. Like I got a few games in the till. Have you played a game called Wingspan?
Yeah.
You played it?
Yeah. I play Wingspan.
Okay, so I have that game that I want to try, which I own and is still in the wrapper.
Yeah,
it's been in the wrapper for a while.
Okay.
What else were we gonna try to play? Shoot.
Have you played Imperium? What the fuck is it? It's a bigger.
Is that like the Galaxy game or whatever?
Yeah.
Dude, that's like a 12-hour game, right? Like that's like a.
It wasn't. It didn't take us 12 hours to play it. It took a while. It definitely took a while, but it didn't take us like 12 hours to play it though.
Yeah, it's like Galaxy Builder now. We're not playing something like that. Yeah. I have Red Rising. Did you ever read Red Rising? Didn't I tell you to read that game? Read that book?
I don't know. I think you might have mentioned it on a list of shit.
Anyways, they made a board game out of it. It's like a pretty highly rated board game.
Okay.
So I actually bought that on the Prime days. So it was like only $20. It was like half off.
Oh, like that. Is it good though?
And so it's supposed to be really good. I mean, it's still in plastic. I haven't played it.
Oh, okay. I got you.
But these are like the games that we have like that I haven't played yet. So there's like quite a few. I think even Daniel has a couple that we wanted to play that we haven't played yet. So I told my sister and brother-in-law, I was like, dude, I'm tired of this. There's so many games that I have that I want to play that we never play. Yeah. Or like when we do play games with like family nights, it's always like the 6, 7 player, 8 player games. Like we never get to play any of like the 4 player games because we always have too many people in the group.
I know,
and
man.
I have like all these games that I want to play that are 4 player that I never get to play for years and years.
Yeah, for the longest, it was just me, my wife, and my in-laws, and we would just play board games. So, it seems the sweet spot is like 4 players.
Yeah, it is.
Shit ton of games with 4 players.
4 or more.
Perfect number.
Yeah.
But there's like a lot of times, or recently, when we've tried to play, my niece and nephew want to come over too and play. So now it's like, okay, it's like 6 of us. You know what I mean?
Party games work.
That gets a little testy. If like another nephew wants to come in and play, then we're looking at 7. Once you look at 7, okay, we playing Phase 10. We playing Uno. Yes. You know what I'm saying? Like, blank slate. You playing stuff like that. Where it's like
Cards Against Humanity.
Yeah, you're not playing strategy games anymore.
Yeah, you're not playing you're playing all the party games. You're not playing any of like the deep ones.
And I'm the type of guy to try to stretch Dominion. Let me see how many people we can get on Dominion, even though it says 5 to 6. Let's get like 8 deck scores.
You stretch it, dude. That's funny, dude.
I just try it because I like Dominion. You know what I mean? And it's just cards, so it's like you just try to stretch it with cards. But yeah, man, some of those other ones, I think like 7 Wonders is like a decent it's like 7 players.
Party one,
but it's really tough to find those games that play like 8. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that are like that are deep with 8 players. Yeah.
Yeah. You probably would have to do it at some point. Like what
I got
we did the last time we were at Ants, where we had to play like two separate games. You know what I mean? Like we split the groups up. You guys play this, you play that over there. You know what I mean? And it will switch or something like that.
Yeah. It got to the point where like every night we were playing was always like 6 to 7 every night. And so I ended up getting like a large collection. Like that became like the only games I looked for. I no longer looked for like the strategy games. There's always like 7+ games. So I have like all the good ones. Like I have, Blank Slate. I have all of them. Freaking Wavelength.
Okay.
We got.
I haven't tried Wavelength.
We got One Word. All of them. All the freaking Cards Against Humanities. All of them. All those. What was the other one?
Exploding Kittens.
The one where you draw.
Pictionary?
No, it's not Pictionary. It's like Telestrations, I think. It's Telestrations you got. Deception. Freaking like what's the other one? The one where you buy and sell, you have a little housing track. I think it's called like Homeowner or something. You get like a housing track.
I never heard of that one.
And you it's pretty dope. Like you have these 3 decks and you flip over 3 cards and it reveals like 3 things you can do. Like you can build a fence or a pool and like build a home or whatever. And you're like building like a housing track, dude. And so like you're putting in homes and then like it's numbered like 1 to 15. So whatever you fold over, you get numbers.
Okay.
Right. And so like if you pick like number 4 and you build a home on number 4, then you can't build a home on like 1, 2, or 3 or something like that. Like you have to go like as much as you can. So you might go like let's say you get a 2, you're like, oh sweet, I'll do that because I don't mind skipping 1.
But you can't build 1.
But you can't build 1 now. But if you get like you're happy with like 3,
6.
4, and then you might skip to 7, right? So you got like these like scatters, and then you're also trying to like put fencing around the homes. Homes have fences. Yeah. And when you do like fencing around a home, you're like building a state. And so like it's kind of like a dice game almost, or like it's not dice, but it's a deck. But when you flip it over, it's like random numbers.
It's all RNG.
Then all you have is 3 rows or 3 phases, 3 housing track phases that you can build in. So once you've like used 3 in like all your rows, like 3 is now like dead to use. Like whenever 3 rolls up, it's kind of like a little bit like what's the one with the dice game where you roll the dice and you got to get like 5 in a row? Yahtzee. It's kind of like Yahtzee, a little bit like Yahtzee, or like Quicks, a little bit like Yahtzee or Quicks. Like, what else the heck were we playing? Yeah, all these. I got all these party games now. On like
another one that's good for a large number is Mysterium, and Deceptio or
Deceptico. I think you're talking about.
No, Obscurio. I'm thinking of Obscurio. Because Obscurio is kind of like Mysterium. Like you have one person who's got like a bunch of cards and shit, and then they gotta kind of like help you.
Yeah, Mysterium. We play Mysterium. That's one of the ones we play. I'm not sure the other one you're talking. Oh, Obscurio. Yeah, we haven't played this one.
Yeah. Obscurio. Obscurio is tough, because you got like images that you have to that people have to pick. Like they have to pick a door. So you have like a bunch of images that you give them to tell you what door to pick.
How many players?
They have to guess. That one's about like 7 or so. Because you got the person who gives all the shit out but can't talk, and then you got the other players, and I think that's like six players or something like that. So it might be like 7 or 8, one of those two.
Yeah. So we got Wingspan. What else do we got? Azul. We play Azul. We play.
I got Azul.
What else did we play, man? Yeah, like all the party games. If I can find it.
If you haven't played Phase 10, Phase 10's a good one. You can get mad people on Phase 10.
Yeah, Phase 10 is just like a Uno card game.
Yeah, except it's it's with numbers, and you got like different hands you got to build and stuff like that. And like the first one out, everybody else is shafted or whatever. But if everybody can get out, you move on to the next level and stuff like that, and you add in points and things. But yeah, but so that's out. Yeah, so like you might have like everybody's got to do Phase 1, and that might be get like 2, 3 of a kinds. And so, you're dropping all of those cards out there, and then you get your last card out your hand, and then you're done. So it's like, Uno, I'm out type shit. And then everybody, if everybody was able to lay their phase down, then they move on to Phase 2 along with you. Whoever didn't complete their phase, then they start again at Phase 1, and then you get all the extra points that they left behind in all the cards and stuff like that. And you keep moving through the phases. So you could get to like, there could be people in phase like 6 or something like that. And then you'll still have people in phase like 2, and they can just come back because you've got like some crazy shit where you got to get like 3 of a kind plus 4 of a kind, or 3 of a kind plus 4 colors or something like that. Right. You know what I mean?
Right.
4 of the same color or something. So it's like weird things that'll like get you.
Yeah, I played Phase 10 before, but it was very low key. Very, very low key. Like we played a lot of these games. Like Wavelengths is a lot of fun. Like we play that one quite.
I gotta check that one out.
We played Just One, where you give like one clue. There was another game we played that's really fun as well, and it's basically like you draw a card, and it has like a saying on it, like your favorite movie or something, and then everyone in the group has to put a phrase down or something that they think is your favorite movie, and then like you put it down. And you flip them over, and then you pick one or something like that like most lines up with what would be your favorite movie or something along those lines. And it's more obscure than like, it's not that straightforward like your favorite movie. It's something more obscure.
Yeah, it's like a little bit evolved than
so it's funny. It's funny because because it might be blank slate. It might be
because blank slate, you'll have like a word and either a space in front of it or behind it, and then your objective is to get for the word that you pick to be at least gotten by one other person or more. And if you can get one other person to guess the same word, then
it's
you
not
get
that
3
one.
points.
It's not that one. We have blank slate too. We play that as well.
Right.
Just One. Have you played that before? Yeah, blank slate. We were playing with my dad. We had a lot. My dad actually played that. We had a lot of fun with that one.
So that was
we're
fun.
trying to get at least one other person to line with you. Yeah, blank slate's a lot of fun. No, this one's different. It's like it's a lot of fun because people put funny things down. Yeah. Right, and then like you reveal them and you kind of laugh.
Laugh at where your brain was at. Like, how'd you think of that?
A little, it's more similar to like Cards Against Humanity, where like everyone puts a card in, you flip it over, and you see which one lines up with the card best. But this one's better because you write the phrase. So you're not picking from like your hand, like where you're stuck with only what's in your hand, like with Cards Against Humanity. You're actually like you write the phrase down and you put it down. But what's cool is like it comes in the order that you put it as well. So if you and I like, if it was like I was up and the thing was like your favorite game and you're like, me really well. And so does my wife. You guys are like racing to put down The Last of Us because whoever puts it down first, right, gets to be the one that claims that phrase. Gotcha. And then you have to like change your phrase. So that was a lot of fun. And then we play a game called Just One, where basically is you have another thing, you draw a word, and it'd be like casino, right? And I'm holding that up. I can't see it. It just says casino. Okay. Right? I can't see it, but you all can. You all have to put one word around, just one word. You write a word down on your card.
Oh, and the best guess gets.
No. You put a word down on a card, and then I close my eyes. All the players reveal their word. If anyone has the same word describing casino, then those get canceled out. And so you observe and make sure there's no duplicates. Any duplicates get thrown out. And then you say, okay, open your eyes. I open my eyes. I see all the clues, and I have to guess casino.
Gotcha. So what happens if you don't guess it?
Then you lose a point, and you lose the next. So there's like 13 cards or something like that. And you reveal one of the cards. If you don't get it right, that card goes to the discard pile, and the top card goes to the discard pile. So your score is based on how many cards you get right. So if you get all 13 right, you get a perfect score. But if you just miss one, the best you can do is 11, right? Because you lose the card you missed and then one on top, right? So like your score gets hammered just by missing one freaking clue. So, but it's a lot of fun because like you're like, dang, dude, like I got a good one, but it's kind of common, right? Like if you put like casino, I might put like, gambling. Yeah. Right. And you're like thinking gambling too. And it's like, shoot, I don't know if I should write that because someone else might write gambling too. So you're trying to think of like an obscure one that still goes with casino, right? So it's not too obscure that throws them way off, right? But not so common that everyone will guess it and you cancel out clues. Right. So we have a lot of fun with that one. So we do all those party games, man. Like those are the ones that I've been playing for like the last 3 years.
Yeah. Sometimes you find some good deals at Target and shit, and you can just like run it up and grab like a couple of them, little small games and stuff. But I definitely need to get more. Last time we had a game night, we tried to play Dungeons and Dragons. That shit was rough.
Dude, you have way too much. You and your father-in-law too, man. You guys have way too much patience, man. I would never have the patience.
Yeah, dude, that shit was rough, man. We took a minute. I was trying to play Dungeon Master and shit too, but that shit sucked.
You're crazy, dude.
Because I don't know. I don't even know how to really play it, and it's all they say is just off the cuff. You just gotta, you know what I'm saying? So it was just rough playing it, but yeah.
No, you got to get Just One. I recommend buy that one. And buy Wavelength, dude. I think you're gonna really like those ones, man. Like we always go back to Wavelength and Just One. Like they kind of never get old, because like the laughs always come through. It's always fun. Wavelength is really cool. Lots to think about. Like you could play with 100 players. There's another thing I like about Wavelength is like it's even more players than like Just One because like you can have the teams as large as you want them to be. And you can have like 10 on 10 if you want.
Yeah.
Right. Like you can literally have as many people as you want on the team guessing, the clue. That's what's cool about a game like that. Like it's infinite players, so no one's ever left out.
Okay. So you haven't, other than that, you haven't played any console games besides dealing
Just
with Hearthstone?
Outriders and
Outriders.
Hearthstone, man.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just been playing some more Naraka, of course.
I know you've been playing Naraka, man. Come on, get a life, little Naraka nut, dude.
I'm trying to get you to play it with me, man. If you just play it with me, you'll see how it rolls, man. You know, when you get a win under your belt, you taste that.
It's addicting. I know, man.
That glory. You know what I mean?
That's why that's what made everyone fall in love with Fortnite and fall in love with Apex Legends is getting that win. It's what made those games take over the world.
Yeah, when you win out of 60, you know what I mean? It's like it's a glorious thing, you know what I mean? And you got like quite a few kills under your belt. You're like, oh shit, I put in some work. You know what I'm saying? Like
I'm a
bad motherfucker out here, you know what I'm saying? Like, but
bad dude.
Yeah, and then Naraka's service was down the other day, so I ended up playing some more Far Cry 6. So I was just trying to move through the story on that one and stuff like that. So, you know, just been enjoying that. I literally feel like I can just do straight story. You know what I'm saying? Like, because there's nothing else, you know, for me. There's not really many weapons for me to get. There's not much armor. Far Cry 6.
Oh, okay.
So, you know, I've kind of like,
you switched
I've gotten enough. Yeah. So, it's just, I just need to do straight story now. But there's so much story. It's just a lot of shit to do.
Dude, there's so much story.
Yeah, so it's just like, damn, okay, I got another one. Like, it's gonna take a while for me to dwindle, and there's like 4 or 5 people that you gotta talk to recruit on your team, and then I guess have one, you know, big grandiose thing or whatnot. So I've been playing a little bit of that, and then of course some more Pixel Guild and stuff. You know, every now and again they I feel like almost every week they're adding something else onto the level. I also found like a couple of other NFT games that are out they're still getting worked on, you know, so they're still in development. So like Pixel Guild is still in development. So it seems like about every 2 weeks or so they come out with another level. So that's, you know, that's cool. You know, you get used to it and stuff. They haven't dropped the coins or any items or anything like that yet, or given you a skin to play with yet. So, you know, there's still that when they do that. But there's another game called like Catch King that I wanted to try out. Just waiting for the price to be at the right, you know, point. I got out of a couple of other projects that I was in, sold my shit because it just they weren't going anywhere. So I just, you know, just move on. You know, you rinse and wash to get to something else. But yeah, so it's Catch King. And then there's another one that I just bought, and it's called Guild Saga. And that one's supposed to be like a turn-based RPG. But right now you send your guy on a quest per se, where he's just gone for like 5 days, and he comes back with a bunch of loot and shit. And then, you know, and you take that, you can equip some stuff on your character. He gains experience, things like that. So it's nothing you actually have to do right now. This will be an idle game. Kind of like the Remnants that I play.
Right.
But yeah, eventually, you know, they have like a game demo and stuff like that. So you could see the game that they're working on actually, you know, and it'll be a turn base, and you'll be in a world and, you know, and fight and all that stuff. And I think they'll have like PvP, PvE, and then like, you know, the quests or whatever that you can run on a regular basis. So, but yeah, other than that, you know, just been playing that small stuff. Haven't really had too much time, you know, with work and everything else. But,
yeah, it's just been kind of like a dead zone. July into August is always
like a dead zone for games. It's definitely the summer. It's so weird, man. The summer is like blockbuster movie time and dead zone game time. I don't know what it is, but so I mean, it's like summer is literally becoming the best time now to pick up on all the shit that you didn't play. To like, okay, I'm gonna buy that stuff now, and then I'll play it. So, I mean, it works out for people that got the extra funds to just, you know, like catch a sale or some shit is used at GameStop or something, run over there, you know, and pick it up.
Yeah,
you know?
definitely, dude.
Yeah. So I think I should hopefully be finished with Far Cry 6 by like the end of this month if I don't play Naraka so much. But, you know, we'll see how that goes.
No, man, you're hooked on that one. That's your game right now.
Yeah, for sure. Until something else comes out. I mean, I'm really just buying time to like Hogwarts and then God of War. You know what I mean? That those type of games that would take a lot of my time.
Yeah,
I
for
won't
sure.
play Naraka once Hogwarts comes out and once God of War comes out. You know what I mean? So it's a good time kill game for sure.
Yeah, for sure, man, for sure.
Yeah, man. But yeah, so enough of that stuff. Anybody who's clicked on this video or is watching us in the stream is here to talk about some of the game news that we got. You guys might care about some of the stuff we've been playing or whatnot. But yeah, we got a few things on the plate. We have some stuff about Iron Man, Hogwarts Legacy, of course. Some
Pokemon,
other
dude.
Sony news, and yeah, the biggest one is fucking Pokemon, bro. For sure. So before we get into any of that good stuff, let's go ahead and get into the great, fantastic intro. I love me. All right, so like I said, the first topic we have is EA working on Iron Man game. So I think, yeah, last week we had talked about the fact that somebody was working on a Black Panther game. So, Marvel's been slinging their stuff around, getting any and everybody to make games for them and whatnot. They probably have I want to say the most IPs from a franchise. Can you call Marvel like a franchise or whatever? Or
I think so. It's one IP. But it's so many IPs within one IP. It's what is it?
Right. But it's the most that there has ever been, I think. There's never been that many Star Wars games coming out, or anything. You know what I mean? It's a shit ton of games, and they're just everywhere. Mobile, fucking Xbox, PlayStation, you name it, PC, they're there. So here's another one in the works, man. And I believe that it was thought that Naughty Dog was supposed to be working on this, which would have been sick. It would have been interesting because I feel like they don't do those type of games. They do more thought out games. So it would have been interesting to see how they would just handle a straight, because I feel like this would be a straight action, packed game, right? It wouldn't be a crazy story and depth and stuff like that in it. Would you think?
Yeah, when I heard that, see, that's what's funny. It's I would immediately think Wolverine is something more Naughty Dog would do, right? It's gritty, grimy. It's a dude with boots on the ground, not flying around.
Right.
He's just moving through a zone, and kind of like that movie Wolverine that came out. That's grit, grinding, maybe an older version of Logan or something. That's what I would think Naughty Dog would be brilliant at. But this would be totally, in my opinion, outside of Naughty Dog's comfort zone, because they don't. This would be flying, a flying game. This is more like Anthem, right? This is flying and technology, and you said, weapons and explosions.
Yeah,
this is much more action than gritty.
Don't you think that it would have been cool if they had been switched? If Wolverine was done by Naughty Dog and
that would be perfect,
and Iron Man was done by Insomniac.
Yeah, absolutely. That would have been a no-brainer.
That would be really good, right? I feel absolutely. The Wolverine story would be sick as fuck on Naughty Dog. Yeah. You know what I mean? And that because of what Insomniac has done with Spider-Man and shit like that, they, Ratchet and Clank, they already know how to work flying mechanics and different things like that. So I feel this would be super easy for them to implement flying mechanics into a game. But
totally. To me, that is just an obvious no-brainer. It's so odd to me that Insomniac would not have chosen to do Iron Man after having done Spider-Man. They have, like you said, they have spatial mechanics down, the way within space, moving within an open space. They have that down with all their experience on Spider-Man, and also action combat too. Where Wolverine is much more gory and bloody. He's stabbing you. He's not webbing you with web and then punching you, right? Yeah. Or stunning you with a stun gun. Wolverine's stabbing you, dude, in the gut. That's more adult. And that's more what Naughty Dog does. Naughty Dog does more mature content, which is why I don't understand why Sony, if they had a choice on which IP they want and they chose Wolverine, would not have given that to Naughty Dog. It would have been perfect. Like that would have been like the game of the year, dude. Like giving that to Naughty Dog. But they got freaking Wolverine to Insomniac, which it's disappointing because I feel like it's going to go more in the Spider-Man direction than like the gritty direction.
Yeah, I mean, I have faith in Insomniac, right? I feel like they'll do it.
It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I don't think it'll be a bust of a game, but I just feel like if they have like Logan in like a different type of set, like I want to have it like a close-up game where you can feel him thrashing through everybody that he's fighting and stuff like that. Like I would want to have that same moment where I'm playing, The Last of Us 2, where I just rotate the camera a little bit and I can see the face of Ellie as she's taking somebody down with her bare hands. To see that with like, Wolverine like shredding somebody apart, and you see like the pure like, the madness in his face as he's trying to rip somebody's head off or something. You know what I mean? That should be ill. I want to see that in an Insomniac game. I want it to be as gory as fucking possible.
I don't know if Insomniac can pull that off, man. They're more about like comic book superhero, with Infamous, and like Spider-Man. I don't know. I just think like I agree, man. Like that's why I'm like always so like frustrated. Like, of course I know Wolverine's gonna be fun because Insomniac makes damn good games. Yeah. But when I think about the fit, like it's kind of like in the NBA. Like you see a player that is like damn good, but sometimes
that they're not gonna mesh well with.
They're not gonna fit well. Like Westbrook on the Lakers. Like no one's gonna deny Westbrook's a damn good player, but he don't fit.
He's a great player, but it's just it doesn't work with that system. He has to be the center, and then everybody else is built around him. He can't go in with a bunch of guys who are considered the center. You know what I mean?
And that's exactly how I feel about Wolverine. It's like, Insomniac's a great team. They're going to make a good game, but the fit is so much better for Naughty Dog. But, I mean, I guess back to Iron Man, it was always strange to me. I'll say this. It was always strange to me how, like, we always heard about the new Marvel games coming out. We heard about Wolverine. We heard about Black Panther. We heard about this Marvel Snap card game, but there was never any word about Iron Man. I was always confused by that. Black Suns
or something like that?
Yeah, Black Sun, the XCOM developer game. But we never heard nothing about like a standalone Iron Man game, and that always baffled me because I'm like, when I think of like Marvel, I think Spider-Man probably number one, and then right there is like Iron Man, and like he's like right up there. And you would think with his versatility as far as he can fly, like that would be a action-oriented, that'd be an awesome game. Why hasn't no one done this yet?
But technically they did just do that one for the VR. You know what I mean? That one just recently came out within the last year or so.
Dude, now, granted, that's what it is.
It didn't see as many people, but it was like the IP was just done. Like something was just done with it. So maybe, I feel like
maybe there's like a developer agreement, right?
Some shit. I don't know.
Yeah, like maybe there's like a developer agreement, like, hey, ours is coming out. Don't step on our toes with another one. So like, let us finish ours first, and then you can take over the IP. Like maybe there's some kind of like rotation between the developers, so they aren't launching like two Iron Man games at the same time.
Yeah, but how long has this been going on for though?
Who knows?
How long have they been working on this shit? Like I don't.
But also, bro, isn't it a weird like change of pace? Naughty Dog to EA. Like I feel like those couldn't be two. Those are like polar opposite kind of like game developers. Like they aren't similar. Like if you said Naughty Dog to Rockstar, I'd be like, okay, I can see some similarities. But Naughty Dog to EA is like a different, it's like a Japanese world. Like kind of JRPG kind of game developer making Iron Man from Naughty Dog. Like that's a huge like difference.
Yeah. Now, question though, Anthem was it BioWare?
Anthem was BioWare, I believe. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, EA has tons of games that have flying involved in them and stuff like that. So they have a lot of mechanics that they can pull from.
I will say though, EA should go to BioWare and buy that flying tech because that was the one thing Anthem did well.
Get Anthem shit from him.
Yeah, that was like the one thing they did well.
I mean, they always said that it was kind of like a RPG-ish Iron Man, right? Weren't they?
It
called
was, yeah. It
like
was
that?
basically Iron Man. It was like, yeah, it was an action RPG.
Yeah. So I mean,
Or
yeah,
like
if you could
ARPG.
just take that aspect, I don't know how the aiming was in the game, but if you could probably take the targeting and the flight, and then just build a story around that.
Maybe Anthem's demise turned developers off from wanting to make an Iron Man game. Maybe that's why we haven't seen one.
Maybe.
Like a legitimate, at AAA,
there's honestly not a lot of like people, like flying people games. You know what I mean? Like Superman is just like a gimmicky Superman game. You know what I mean? Like it's literally they just follow the movie. You know what I mean? It's nothing spectacular.
Yeah, I don't think you can ever make Superman a great game because he's so overpowered. Like, there's nothing that's a threat to you. I think there was always
something. There was always something that hit hard, right? Like it's just
this is
it's
why
basically like an endurance thing, right?
This is why I think like Spider-Man works so well, and why he's always everyone's favorite. It's because he's powerful enough to be awesome, and you're like impressed and blown away, but also human enough that he can be hurt, and not just physically, but like emotionally, and like he's down to earth. Like he's just a perfect mix. Or like Superman, it's like an extreme in one direction, right? Or like Wolverine, he's not quite as strong or as flashy or as cool as Spider-Man, but he does have that human aspect. But you don't quite have like the big explosion aspect of like all the strength and power that Spider-Man has. Where Spider-Man's like a perfect mix of that. Where Superman's like the opposite direction. There's not much humanity there with Superman, but he's like overpowered with strength. And so how do you balance that as like a game developer? I think would be a challenge, man, to make a good Superman game. That'd be hard, I think.
I mean, for the most part, most of the Superman games have always just had an objective, like go here, save these people. When there's something going down, fight the villains that pop up or whatever, you know what I mean, and continue progressing through that story, whatever that story is. But I felt like Spider-Man was like, there's this main story, but you had the world, the city that you were, trying to help and maintain and stuff like that. And they always made it so that you could use that stuff. But yeah, so I mean, I don't know. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing what they have in store for Iron Man. I hope they don't fuck it up. I mean, as long as they don't shit the bed and try to make tons of like in-game purchases and stuff like that, for like Mach 3 armor and different things, like trying to charge some extra prices for some random shit. You know what I mean? Then I'll be cool. It shouldn't be terrible. It's a great studio, so.
Yeah, they're good at making games.
Yeah, so let us know in the comments down below what you expect from the new Iron Man game. You think it's gonna be like guns a-blazing, no story, just straight action nonstop? That might be the way to go. Or would you like a story? Actually see EA come out with like a compelling story, and give you some of that action as well. But yeah, I guess we'll see what's going for it. For the next topic, real quick, it looks like Backbone decided that they were going to team up with PlayStation and create a special version of the Backbone controller. Now they got the original one, which if I can pull it up, it was like a black one. And it was a nice controller. I believe it was like, I think they revolved that one around the Xbox or something like that. And so they were kind of like selling it as like an Xbox thing. Like that's the main thing. Anytime that you saw Backbone, you would think Xbox, because they had the black version or whatever. But as you look, they're really trying to sell this PlayStation one. As if it's gonna like make your remote play like way better, right? Because we don't really have cloud-based gaming for the PlayStation. It's more so just remote play, and right now it's pretty ass. You got to have like a fantastic fucking internet connection, and to even attempt to try to tell people that they can play the shit on the go is far-fetched as fuck. But
yeah, that's my biggest issue with it, man. It's like, come on, dude. Like,
It's literally you got to be this far away from the TV.
Yes, that's exactly right. You got to be that close to your PlayStation, like in the same room, and it's like at that point, why am I using this? Because this is not going to work, dude. Like, so in my opinion, Sony has like not the greatest remote play service. I think Xbox's is quite a bit better, but I wouldn't even want to do Xbox's cloud gaming on the road. Like if I'm at like a restaurant waiting for my food order and I want to pull my phone out to play on my Xbox, it's like I'm not going to be like getting a very good connection to play any of these games. Like this seems just like, in my opinion, like worthless. Like I never like cloud gaming on PlayStation, and I barely like it on Xbox. So that's basically how I feel about it. I rather them just take the time to make remote play better before they give me a product for remote play when remote play is kind of broken right now, in my opinion. It doesn't work
for sure. For sure. But this is what I was talking about. Like, if you look at this black version, it's literally, it's just a black controller. But it gives you that, because I've seen it so much now, it gives me that frame of mind like, oh, this is like an Xbox controller. You know what I mean? Like, I would put this on here. I would play some Xbox Game Pass games that can be played on the mobile phone or whatnot.
Right.
And then that's the black version. And then they have the white version. And it's just got, PlayStation branding all over this one. They've made it way more heavy in this than they did the black version. The black version, Xbox is just like, hey, you buy it, we'll give you a 1 month free trial of Game Pass Ultimate. That's as much branding as Xbox felt they even need to put in it or with it. The PlayStation, though, they want that shit in the name. They want the back to have that little that PlayStation symbol right there. So you have that. But the other one, the black one, does not have all of that. The black one is just, it's literally the black version. It don't got no Xbox logo on there, not that I know of. Yeah, they ain't showing shit. They ain't showing no pictures of that back portion. Like, hey, there's an Xbox symbol back here. So it's not one. And they could give a fuck less about that. Like, it's a controller, bro. Do what you want. Now, getting this, it doesn't say that you can only play PlayStation shit with it. It's literally just a controller. It's just if you want the white one or the black one. But I think people are going to just be uber fanboys and get it because of that logo on there.
Yeah, I feel like this is Sony's, once again, like, cheap way of trying to compete with, like, Steam Deck. Or like, because they have no portable gaming console. Yeah, this is like their cheap way, I feel like, of trying to like.
It's as close as they're gonna get without actually throwing any money into something like that.
Yeah, exactly. Throwing any money into something. It's like, yeah, but remote play is trash, right? It's like, okay, this is nothing because remote play sucks. Yeah. So that's my big issue. If remote play worked well, then this would have.
I would be excited for it. Yeah, I mean,
this would be much more appealing.
Yeah, it's like, oh, it's cool, you know what I mean? It gives you that aesthetic, right? If you have the console, you know what I'm saying? Then you've got this, along with your controller. You got all the white stuff that you can, use on here and whatnot. But at the end of the day, I feel like Backbone should just be making various colors. Like, you can claim all you want that it's like a PlayStation version, an Xbox version, or whatever. But they didn't really need to do as much as they did on this one. They could have just done the white version and had the black and the white version and just gave you, a 1 month trial.
Yeah, because if you look at the black one, it's the exact same layout as this.
It's literally the only thing that's different is that it's just got the black, the D-pad and stuff like, just the black colorway.
Right.
That's the only thing.
It's just the black colorway.
It's just black colorway. So it's nothing else that's like crazy different about it.
It doesn't feel like, like even the formatting is like it's same. It's diagonal joysticks. They're diagonal from each other.
Yeah,
like,
same
it's like
button.
the same thing. Like that's what's frustrating to me. It's like Sony makes this seem like it's their product when like it's just a third party aftermarket, attachment. Like it's not like a Sony produced item.
Yeah, and I think they probably, there had to be something that was done, right, for them to put it in the name for the iPhone PlayStation edition, and then to give you that logo on the back. They had to talk about it, you know what I mean? And I don't know what the type of conversation was. Like, hey, can you just make a white version? Do iPhone PlayStation or something like that? I don't know. It's weird. But I mean, they got the iPhone edition, and then they've got the Android edition. Oh, Android is just strictly black. So there's literally only an iPhone PlayStation edition one. So
there's only an iPhone PlayStation. Interesting.
Yeah,
so you
yeah.
can't
So they
even
don't
buy
even
this unless you
have
have
the
an iPhone.
Android.
Huh.
Yeah, they don't even have the Android one, which is really interesting that they would just do one strictly for iPhone, because I feel like Android got the Game Pass app and all that shit before iPhone could. But yeah, man.
Yeah, I
So
agree. That's fascinating.
yeah, so I mean, let us know in the comments down below if you fuck with this Backbone controller at all. I do kind of like it if it can work with any game. You know what I mean? It does say that it gives you Apple Arcade free along with it. So I feel like it would be one of those things where, as long as the game that you're playing has some type of a controller aspect to it, that they allow controllers to be hooked up, that you would just be able to do this instead of, pulling out your PlayStation controller and then, hooking it up to it and stuff like that. I know I only have currently right now, I only have 2 PlayStation 5 controllers, and I just rotate them when I'm on a long gaming session. You know what I mean? So if I have one dedicated to my phone, there's probably at some point in time where I'm going to need to undedicate it and put it back on my PlayStation because I played so long that my battery died, But this would give you that option where this is strictly for your phone. You can carry it around with you. You know what I'm saying? I think it had like a nice little fold up where it kind of like folded inward. If you want to just keep it on your phone for a while, I would walk around with this shit like that. But, to keep it in your bag somewhere, something like that, or have it in your car or something. If you go places or whatever, it'd be nice. But yeah, I mean, I would consider getting the Backbone if it was probably a little cheaper. $100 for it is quite a bit.
Yeah, and I think I'd want the one like you said. Like, I have an Android, so I couldn't even buy this PlayStation 1. So I want the one that I could use for everything, for every game. Like, if that was the case, then I would consider that for my Xbox. But I agree, dude, $100 is a lot. That's a lot of money, dude. Like,
yeah, it's a lot for a controller, to be able to work with your phone and whatnot. And I know they have like those little attachments that you can buy on Amazon for like $10-15, that would just clamp onto your controller and allow you to hold your phone. And
this feels better than that, because like those feel like it's like weighted catawampus, right? Like this would feel better in the hand,
right?
Than like one of those clip attachments that you're talking about.
Right, that's what would be appealing, or the fact that you have to, sit your phone somewhere in a good position so that you could play on it, where you can hold this, and play it just like you would a Switch or something like that. So it gives you that Switch opportunity. But $100 for the opportunity is just a little pricey, in my opinion, right now for it. It's like it's not necessary, you know what I mean? So I would just hold off until there was like a really good deal. Maybe you could get a black one for like maybe $60 or something like that, close to the price of a regular controller. I'd probably be okay with that. It also would be nice if you could use it as a regular controller, and just have like your phone attached to it as like a second screen, for like your Xbox or for your PlayStation. That would be really cool to make it usable as a controller for your console. That would be really cool.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, man. So yeah, let us know if you guys are fucking with the Backbone, and if you think that $100 is worth it, and that if you think that this the fact that they got that logo slapped on it makes it more appealing, or if it's just kind of like it's just a white version. I'm waiting for that red version or that blue version. Let us know. For the next topic we have, man, Hogwarts Legacy. It's been popping up quite often on the radar as we get closer and closer to that leaked release date, right? I think, what was that shit? September? Was it a September release date or November?
No, December 9th, I thought.
Maybe it was.
I thought it was like December. Yeah, it was like a late. Changed. I know it was like changed. A late date. I think Gotham Knights comes out October, right? And then like God of War comes out November, and then I think this comes out December. Okay. Something along those lines.
Yeah. Busy. But yeah, as we get closer and closer to that leaked release date, we're starting to see more and more things from Hogwarts Legacy. I believe that there was an Autodesk thing that came out. I can't remember. I'm gonna have to look it up and see what it showed, but it was like Autodesk Hogwarts. Yeah, there you go. So they had this video that came out like a day or so ago, and it literally was just giving like a super in-depth video on Hogwarts. You know, like the character development, all this shit. You know what I mean? They got the little room right there where they're literally putting the pieces together and stuff like that, and doing the concepts and stuff. So I mean, this shit was 58 minutes. It's really long, and it's detailed. If you would like to see it, you could go to this page right here, BNS Victory or whatever. He's got it on there. I think Autodesk might have some type of YouTube channel or something like that, but as you can see, that was literally the first video that popped up. So that's why I clicked it, but it's just showing all the animation and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They got how the actors and stuff. But I've been hearing that it could be possible that even though all this shit is leaking, that it still may get pushed back. So I was gonna ask you, like, how you like, do you think that that's like still plausible? You know, because they have not given us an official release date, right?
Yeah, absolutely, it's plausible. I mean, it would not surprise me. I would actually probably peg it as like 80-20. 80% it comes out next year, 20% it comes out, because that's just, for one, that's just the the current state of game development. Everything gets delayed, so I would not be surprised if it did get delayed, and actually would be expecting that. However, I will say, if it's a Game Award thing, then usually games that come out in December don't get nominated for Game Awards until the following year anyways. So they could dodge that by coming out in December. If that's one of their concerns, like they don't want to compete with like Elden Ring and God of War or something, then maybe they would do that. But yeah, I agree that they're showing a lot, though. They're showing like a whole lot of stuff. Like, not only leaks, but like willingly showing things. And it feels like if it's not done, it's got to be close to done. So even if it did delay, I think it'd be like an early 2023, not like a late 2023, like they did with God of War. But I wouldn't be surprised if it gets pushed. But what was cool about this recent leak is that it showed a cutscene. So we actually got to see like what a cutscene or a cinematic scene would be like, between missions or whatever, when games put the cutscenes in. Like, so it was kind of nice to see like some of the voice acting and some of like the way they presented the cutscenes in Hogwarts Legacy. But the more and more they show of it, the less and less, in my opinion, sometimes the less and less hype. Like, you lose some of that hype. You know what I mean? Like you want a game to keep some of its, mystery. Right, like to keep the user or the gamer like excited to learn something new. Like, if you're going to show us all your cutscenes, you're going to show us like every action scene, every even down to this right here, like every single movement of the character. You're kind of like, it becomes less and less like, it's like, okay, more Hogwarts, okay, Hogwarts Legacy again. It gets less exciting, So I don't know how I feel about all this. And then if they delayed it, that would be like, that's a little odd.
Yeah, I feel like the only other reason that they could show us this stuff and then still delay this bitch is if they were just trying to like wet your whistle. Like, I'm sorry, we are going to push this shit back, but you saw a lot of what we have to offer and what we're working on.
That's enough for you. Okay, that should be good enough for you. You got to see a lot of it.
You got to see a lot of the game. You won't get to play that bitch until next year. But hopefully you saw enough to hold you over.
You're such a dummy. You're such a dummy. Hopefully you saw enough. Oh my gosh, man. That's funny.
we put 30 minutes of gameplay on here. But this shit ain't coming out until middle of next year. But
I know,
enjoy the 30 minutes of gameplay that you can watch,
Yeah, just rewatch that gameplay. That should be good enough for you.
Yeah. If anything, I would be like, okay, if you're gonna show me some gameplay, then just give me that in the demo. Just bottleneck it to that small portion that we already saw, but we can play it ourselves. and and let us.
Yeah, it'd be different if it was like a demo. Like you get to play that 30 minutes yourself, then I can see them saying like, okay, you got to play the game, you know what you're getting now.
yeah,
and,
but
like,
we
give us a
pushing this
little more
shit out.
time to polish. Yeah, but just giving me videos like this ain't wet. No, this ain't like satisfying. No urge for the game. Like a demo would be more of that, but like not this.
Honestly, this is like super technical and in depth, and because I'm not as invested in this character because I haven't played this character and it is not me yet until I play it. I could care less about all this stuff. I know it takes a lot to make the game. I understand it. But you know what I mean? It's like it's different from giving me an in-depth of Kratos or Kratos.
I totally agree, man. Like
or just going in to more detail about Joel and Ellie, you know what I mean, as they act out these scenes and stuff like that. You know what I mean? You know those characters, you care about those characters, you know what I'm saying? So you want to watch that. Like, okay, it's like that's dope. You saw that scene, you saw how they acted. So this type of shit is cool like after the game's already released. And then it's like, oh, that's how they did that scene or something like that. You know what I mean? Like you have more understanding. And it's like, oh, that's dope. I saw the end product. Now here's how they made it. You know what I mean? The behind the scenes shit should always be after the item is released. I don't think I've ever seen a Marvel film where they gave you behind the scenes shit beforehand. Leaked, yes, but not like they just gave you a bunch of shit beforehand so that you see, oh, it's just a green screen there behind. And it's like 2 bales of hay. They didn't really do much.
I agree 100% because the reason is because something's either good or it isn't, right? Like I could care less how it was made if it was bad, right? But how am I going to know, like you're saying, if something's good or bad until like it gets in my hands, right? Like I could care less if you spent like your life, goal was to build this game, and if it was a shitty game to play, I could care less, dude. Like,
I don't give a fuck if you almost died while making this bitch. Like,
you almost died,
I want to see if
it's a bad game, dude. I'm sorry. Like,
if you almost died making some bullshit, I feel bad for you. But if it was like good as fuck, then I'm like, damn. You know what I mean?
Now I'm curious. Like, what did you do to get this quality? Yeah.
You dove off a cliff to get that shot? Like, damn,
That shot. Yeah, dude, for sure. That's the problem, right? Like, we don't know what this is. That's not in my hands. I don't know how impressive this is. Like, the game could be garbage, and then it's like, do I care less now? Yeah, this is exactly right. This is like something you show off once you've had a success. Like, once you've had a success, you can kind of like brag and say like, look at all the work we did. Look at everything. It's just kind of like bragging to me. Like showing off all your hard work is like more like boasting than like than hyping me. Like it doesn't hype me up.
Or like another good example is Dead Space, the remake. Remember how they gave us that behind the scenes showing like, hey, we can't show you the game per se, but we can show you that we've been working on it and improvements that we've already made so far and stuff like that because we have a lot of work to do. But they gave you like, here's what we've got so far. You know what I mean?
That was different
everything, but it showed you. But we already know the game. We've already played the game a while back. You know what I mean? So, and then they're giving us of the befores and the afters type shit. So, it's different a little bit.
Yeah, what's different is that they're showing us what they have. Right? Like they don't have a game yet. Like, so they're kind of showing us like the development process as they're literally developing it. Like this is different. Like this game is like done. These scenes are finished. And they're kind of showing us how they got to these scenes where like Dead Space is kind of like taking us on the journey with them.
Yeah, so maybe if they had shown this like a year ago.
Or like when they were just starting development. Yeah, and like, oh, that's what they're going to be doing? That's cool. But now that we've kind of already seen the actual game, this is just like, come on, man.
We've seen the inside of Hogwarts, and we've seen it like move and some of its workings and stuff.
And the teachers and the dialogue.
If this was all we had seen, we hadn't seen it with color or anything else. This would be like, cool, you know, to see them like placing it and then trying to see like, oh, what building is this that they're around in, you know, and like what's going on here.
This would be giving us the idea about the game rather than like the 20 minutes of footage they've already shown us, right? We already know. So why would I want to go backwards, right? This is kind of like, you know what I mean? It's like kind of like what you say about a game. It's like, imagine playing Demon Souls, the new one, and then them going back and showing you the original. It's like, I don't want to see like where it started. I've already seen the end result. I've seen the best version of it. Like, why do I want to go back and look at this pixelated, you know, it doesn't excite me. But if this was all the footage I had, right, and this is like all we knew, and it was like, okay, now we see what they're doing. This is cool.
Or if you just give this type of information after the game has already released and it's out there, you know, for the people who are technically like, you know, really interested in it, like, oh, how did they shoot this scene, or you know, how are they creating this? Like, I mean, some of this information, like looking at this stuff and seeing how they're doing, you know, these scenes and whatnot is cool if you're interested in game development and you know, and game design and stuff and working this. Like, all of that stuff is cool, seeing these different scenes get put out and stuff like that. But I mean, right now it's kind of, I wish I had seen more gameplay or something like that. You know, that's super weird though. The face mask that they put on, that's like
this
really
is weird. So weird, man.
So it's interesting that they got these little screenshots of these guys and stuff for the scene. But it's funny.
Yeah, like they're trying to put like the actor and actress on like the face, but it's like strange,
but
almost like comedic.
Yeah, they're literally breaking you down with like everything in this. This is a super in-depth video. So I mean, it's 58 minutes, you know, of this stuff. So if you definitely want to check it out, by all means, there goes the channel right there, BNS_victory, you know, so check it out. You know, let us know down in the comments below. You know, are you pumped for this? You know, do you think it's going to come out this year, or do you think they're going to try to push it back just until like, you know, maybe February or March or something like that? You know, they got to definitely, you know, a couple of these shots. This is like, you know, this is all stuff that was in the video. So them taking screenshots of this Autodesk, there you go, this Autodesk stuff, you can literally go watch the video. Like, you don't need to look at the screenshots. That's why I didn't really go through this much, you know, for this article, where I could just show you the whole video and you can go and check it out yourself. But yeah, so on to the next topic, man. Sony. I mean, this purchase has been it's been a while since it was announced, you know, with Xbox purchasing Call of Duty and whatnot, and for there to be like random stuff popping up, it's kind of funny, you know, because it just shows that this purchase that was made was a huge purchase, and it definitely made them sweat, regardless if they may not have announced it. You know, they made that one tweet that said that they believe that that Microsoft will hold up to the previous agreements that were made, the contracts that were signed by the people who do Call of Duty, you know. So for this to come up and they're still sweating about Call of Duty and whatnot, or it's still on their heads and whatnot, seems kind of funny.
Yeah, this feels like a temper tantrum. Like when you look at this little section here, and this is the quote where Sony says, no other developer can devote the same level of resources and expertise to game development. Even if they could, Call of Duty is heavily entrenched so that no rival, no matter how relevant, can overtake it. I don't know how they could possibly say that. Like, I don't even know what that means. Like,
I'm wondering if they're talking about another game or something like that.
You can't possibly say that.
Like, I don't know if they're talking about like a whole nother game. Like, you know, saying like no other game can compare to Call of Duty. So I don't know if they are. It's hard to read it.
Possibly say that though.
What do you mean? Because you don't think that Call of Duty is that developed, or what?
No, they're making Call of Duty like the end all be all. Right? Like, this is the end. We are at the end. There's nothing will ever be but greater than this. They say no matter how relevant, can overtake it. I don't know if I'd buy that, dude. Like, I don't know how they could possibly say that, right? Like, Fortnite got close, right? Like, I mean,
but I
think Call of Duty's dying, and something else will overtake its spot. Nothing lasts forever, right?
No,
like,
definitely nothing lasts forever. But I feel like, okay, so you know how like we say that Naughty Dog is probably like the top dog in storytelling, as far as like video games go, right?
Yeah.
Or would you say that there's other games that come
Naughty
really
Dog,
close,
Rockstar are like in an echelon of their own. Yeah.
Yeah. Santa Monica Studios, there's a lot of those studios that are really close, and you can kind of argue, which studio you think holds like the best storytelling games. I would kind of say that Naughty Dog has it as far as like their storytelling and the way they play the games. But I really like Santa Monica Studios and what they've done with God of War. And then, I like some of those other games, that are out there that have like really great stories and whatnot, like Rockstar and GTA and Red Dead and all that stuff. But maybe it's saying like that, like Call of Duty is like the top dog as far as first person shooters goes, because any other game that would even dare try to compete with it, right? Like Battlefield 2024. What else is out there? Like Medal of Honor. Certain games like that, they just don't compare when you put it next to Call of Duty, right? Like it outshines it, right?
Absolutely, yeah. Right now it does, yeah.
Right. So I mean, like right now, I feel like they're definitely like hoisting it up on a really tall pedestal, saying that there's that it's going to take a shitload of work to be able to beat it. But I do kind of think that that's like a logical response, right? Because they've been working on this Call of Duty motto, like this franchise for a long ass time, and
I don't like it. I don't like it because it's speaking in absolutes, and I think whenever you speak in absolutes, you corner yourself. Like almost always, you corner yourself.
So that when something gets made better, it's like hey, it was good, right?
It's like a temper tantrum, right? It's like when your son or daughter, when they get old enough, and they say, "You never let me play on my PlayStation. You never let me." It's like the moment you speak in absolutes, like you've cornered yourself like a child. That's why I said that this feels like a temper tantrum to me. Like Sony says, "You'll never beat Call it." It's like, come on, dude. Like you're just talking like a child here. Right? Like you can't say that nothing can ever overtake it, right? Like what was before Call of Duty? Call of Duty overtook that. Like Call of Duty isn't like divine. Like it's not like perfection, right? Like it's just strange like when you go to those extremes. That's why I keep using like perfection and like divine, because you're like leaving no room for anything else. And if I can just, if it just happens one time, you're proven wrong. Right? If it just happens one time, that's the corner that Sony's putting themselves in. If just one game, and in my opinion,
it's better than Call of Duty, yeah.
Right? Like Elden Ring, like is gonna get to the point where it's selling better than Call of Duty, and it might become, the top selling game for the next decade, right? If they keep making another Elden, like this is you can never say like never, right?
That's true.
Like
what Arachne was saying.
Yeah, exactly.
PUBG was
that's exactly
winner.
Right.
Yeah,
I said, what about? I mentioned Fortnite early in the pod. I was like,
we
thought that would never happen. People thought PUBG was like the game changer of the world, and everyone was playing it. And then Fortnite overtook it. Even some of these other games kind of competed for a bit. Apex Legends, right? Like, I mean, you can even say Counter-Strike to some degree is a Call of Duty competitor. That's a massive game too, right? Like
Counter-Strike's been around for a while. Like,
and that's been around for a long time, right? It's just weird. Sony, like this just feels like they're so frustrated. So they're gonna tell you that it's the worst thing. It's the worst thing to ever happen to them, because this game, it can never be overtaken. It's like it just sounds like a child, like who's admitted defeat, in my opinion. Like, as a company, would you ever admit that another company made a game that you can never do better? right? Like you might use words like currently right now they're the top game in the business, but we look to try to compete and we look to try to make something better. Like I feel like a company would talk in those terms, like leaving room for like games to be better, not like it's impossible to overtake it.
All right, but hear me out though, right? I get what you're saying because they're the competitor. So, you know, with Xbox owning this, they're literally saying that we'll never make a game in this same genre that could even compare to Call of Duty. So
that's essentially what they're saying.
We're bowing down. We're admitting that. But they could be trying to play a little brown nosing game. You know what I mean? Like, hey, I know Microsoft owns this title. We still need the sales of this title, you know, for players to play on our system. You know what I mean? So to keep you from even remotely deciding that you ever want to create just a Call of Duty strictly for Xbox, like we want to tell you how much we love and appreciate your game.
Nah, see,
we know your game's like, the shit.
I hear what you're saying. Like, I totally hear what you're saying, but I think it's different. I think Sony is like going a desperation route. I think Sony is trying to make it seem through this rhetoric, make it seem that like Call of Duty has some kind of gaming monopoly. Almost like a lot of people say Twitter is like the free speech zone of our era and should be like a public utility. You know, like when some people say the internet should be like a public utility because like it's grown so big. It's grown so big that it's like the marketplace of ideas now, kind of like the Times Square was, 1,000 years ago in the Middle Ages. People would go to the middle of the city, the city square, and that's where they would talk and socialize and meet people. Now the internet is that, and the internet's not, governed by laws, and so it should be a public utility. So it's governed by, the Constitution and stuff. Like making it such a big deal that you're making a case for why it shouldn't be robbed from you or taken from you. Like everyone should have access to it, right? Because it's so big now that it's grown bigger than just being a company. It's so big now. I feel like that's the case that Sony's making here. Like Call of Duty is so big that it's unfair business practice. That it's an unfair business practice to allow Microsoft to take this from everyone else because it's too big. It's overwhelmingly, the best game ever, no matter how relevant anything else gets, no matter how. Like it could be the most relevant thing in the history of the world, but that still can never overtake Call of Duty. Like I feel like that's the case they're trying to make, almost to try to make it seem like it's a legal issue. Like this is a legal issue. Like this is so big, it should be shut down by the government from allowing. Right? So? That's how I read it, dude. That's how I feel like they're trying to make it sound. Like this is too big a game. In the bailouts, like things they're too big to fail. Like that whole notion, like they're trying to make that case here. Like this game is too big. It's too big a game to let one company own it. Honestly, like I think it's Sony bitching. Like they're so pissed that this is going to happen. Because they're trying to make the case like it's too big to fail or something. Like it's too big to be owned. When I just think that's bullcrap. I think Call of Duty is on the downhill. Like in my opinion, Call of Duty is like going down. I don't think Call of Duty is going to be on top for like forever. Like it's losing. In my opinion, it's losing its legs. Like every year, it gets smaller and smaller. Like right here too, right? They're saying like,
this kind of changes the.
Yes, that changes it too. Yes.
The sound, like what do you call it? It just changes like the energy of that comment when it's exclusive games are a parameter of competition between Microsoft and Sony Entertainment America. Sony Interactive Entertainment, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Although no company has so far developed or acquired an exclusive game that has decisively shifted the balance in favor of a console. This is because proprietary exclusive games are less popular and represent less revenue than third-party AAA games, which until then are available on Xbox and PlayStation. But Call of Duty is potentially that one game that could have a big enough shift. Right, if everybody and their mom has been playing it since day one, and all of a sudden It's
this
exclusive.
is the stupidest comment too, because it's like I feel like that's a corner you put yourself in. Because imagine they released The Last of Us as a AAA game for all consoles.
For everybody, yeah.
They put themselves in the box of exclusivity. That means you're going to limit how many games you can sell if you're only going to sell it to one corner of the market.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like you can't blame Call of Duty for being the greatest seller because they chose to allow their game to be played on every corner of the market. Like, what if you did that, Sony? Maybe you would have the game that's the greatest seller. Like, you're forcing yourself into a box and then blaming that choice that you made as to why you can't let go of Call of Duty because it sells more than. Well, it's like, no, duh. You're only selling to one corner of the market.
But it also, to me, when I read this article, it sounds as if these two quotes are kind of like, I think as you had said before, like a reason why it should never be an exclusive, because it's so big right now and no game can compare to it, that you have to have this on both consoles. Like, if you were to make it exclusive to one console only, you would lose crazy revenue.
Right.
Because
exactly
no console has ever had a popular game that's just an exclusive like that. You know what I mean? Like, there hasn't been where it was just like blowing anything out of the water and it was only available on one console. I mean, PlayStation is the only one that's had games that have done like huge numbers. You know, because they're the only ones that, you know, make something that's pretty proprietary for, you know, that one console. But
yeah, imagine like
not fucking with numbers like Call of Duty, though.
You know, imagine I come out with a shoe company, right? And I only make shoes for toddlers, right? Like, I only make shoes for toddlers. And I come along and I get pissed at Nike, right? Because they sell more shoes than me. And my argument is, I've never made a shoe that sold as much as Nike shoes do. I'd be like, no shit, dude. Nike sells their shoes to all ages and all people and all sizes. You're just selling to toddlers. Of course, you're never going to have an exclusive game that's decisively changed the balance of power. You're only selling it to one facet of the society. Like, yeah, Call of Duty's selling to everybody. Of course, they're going to have a bigger sell. Maybe if you sold to everybody, you would compete with Nike. In a sense, you would compete with Call of Duty. Like, maybe if you sold Spider-Man to every single console and every single computer, maybe you would have the best-selling game in the last 10 years, right? Like, you can't complain that your business practice, right, as the reason why you need Call of Duty. Like, I just think that's, like, the dumbest argument.
Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, it's definitely interesting that, you know, that this topic came up and that they would say what they said on that. So, I mean, I don't know. You know, Call of Duty is I think if you want the money that Call of Duty is going to bring in, which is why you spend so much on the title, I think having it be an Xbox exclusive isn't even a thing on your mind, right? You would want it on Xbox, PlayStation, and PC. You're going to have it already on Xbox and PC, guaranteed. So why not get that extra revenue?
I agree.
On PlayStation.
Like, Microsoft is going to definitely
already been there. Yeah, so like, why would you change it? Yeah, you purchased a game for its cash flow, right? The ability to be able to bring revenue in. So why would you ever fuck with that algorithm? You know what I mean? Like, why would you ever fuck with that machine to not bring as much money in? Like, I bought it because it fucking gets $1 billion easy. So why would I not want it to make another $1 billion? Just on a gamble to think like, oh, maybe I can bring extra people over to my console in particular. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, the only thing that would
that's a hell of a gamble.
If they let it go free on Game Pass, then you get more Game Pass subscribers. But you may not sell more consoles, right? Because they're going to all of a sudden have Game Passes and televisions. You already saw that with Samsung. Yeah. Samsung was going to put Game Pass and TVs. Like, you're not going to sell necessarily more consoles. You're going to sell more subscriptions. But come on, Sony, like, I'm still going to buy your console to play Naughty Dog games, to play, you know, Insomniac games. Like, do you believe that little, like, in your own games, that you think that this one single game is gonna like destroy your entire platform? Like, you just don't realize how big your own games are, I think, you know. So I don't know. It's just, they're just like kids, man, losing their mind, like throwing a temper tantrum.
Yeah, it's funny. But yeah, man. So I mean, let us know in the comments down below. Do you think it's even ever a possibility that that Microsoft would decide to make Call of Duty exclusive to the Xbox console and PC, and just exclude PlayStation? Or do you think they would just keep that cash flow coming in? I think a lot of people would say that they would just keep that cash flow. Why would I close the tunnel when I know it's making bucks?
I think like if you don't even have to make it exclusive. Like I see Arachne saying
timed exclusive, maybe
make it exclusive. I think if you just had enough incentives, like Game Pass, maybe like early maps, special guns, like people would just come to your console to play it anyways, and you wouldn't even have to make it exclusive. Like the vast majority would be playing Call of Duty through some Game Pass, either Game Pass or Xbox machine. You wouldn't even need to make it exclusive, right? And it would bleed Sony as well.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Yeah, and they had a great shooter in Killzone, Arachnid. Like, they can make a good shooter, too. I don't know why they think it's, like, this impossible task that they can't make something that's, like, just as good as Call of Duty. I think that's absurd. Dude, you telling me Naughty Dog can't make something that's just as dope? I think that's retarded, man.
Dude, Arachnid, you bleed Sony slowly, man. Like I feel like you would be the pathway for money would be just way wider if you just kept it the way it is. I think that you would slowly get people to fuck with your shit, but I feel like, you know, kind of like what Ray said, like a quick little Microsoft stick or a TV, and people are able to play that game on there, and they just get like the straight console version of, you know, Xbox Game Pass Ultimate or something like that, or just, you know, the Game Pass console version or something that's like $10. It's not really like providing so much revenue, because you know that shit's gotta be on Game Pass. So you're taking a game that's can earn up to, let's say, 70, right? Because PlayStation was selling the version for $70. You know, you could get possibly $70 per game, and you're gonna give that shit away for free on the Xbox. Like, I see no money in that. You know what I mean? The subscriptions wouldn't add up to as much as coming in for that game, how much it takes to make that game. I feel like you would be bleeding along with Sony for making that exclusivity thing. No, maybe you do like a timed exclusive, but
it would, you know, it would take a long time before you got your profit on your investment, right? Because you paid $70 billion basically for Call of Duty. And like, that's going to take a long time to get that money back. So like, you want to make sure you get as much revenue as you can as quickly as you can.
Dude. Yeah, you got to at least make the money back. Once you make the money back,
once you make the money back,
then you can probably play around with it. Yeah.
But Call of Duty, you don't know if it's going to last forever. You have to get that $70 billion back somehow, right? So that could take you 30 years, you know, 20 years. Who knows, you know?
And I mean, if you look at it like NBA 2K, man, you make a couple of wrong choices for additions to a game or things you take out of a game, man, and you can slowly dwindle that huge force that was behind your game, pushing it, you know, making it really popular to reducing it, you know, to a smaller number. And now it's not as popular, you know, because you changed something and a lot of people didn't like the changes you made or whatever. And so now your shit's even smaller, you know, of a thing, dude. Dude, NBA Live was definitely a good one. It was like you either play NBA Live or you play NBA 2K, and I kind of liked the way the mechanics were in NBA Live than I did NBA 2K. But somehow like NBA Live just kind of fell off, dude. It just didn't have as much like new shit going for it, I guess, as like 2K was. So it just kind of died. But yeah, they for sure need to bring NBA Live back, man. That's for sure. But yeah, man. So on to the last topic that we have, man. Freaking Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. So when I had heard about this like a while back when they announced it, I thought that these were like remakes of a sort.
These are brand new.
Yeah, I thought that Scarlet and Violet was one of them old ass games that, you know, they were just remaking again. But yeah, this bitch is like, they took all of the shit all of the research that they gathered from freaking Sword and Shield, and just threw it in here and then added a couple of extra shit to it, dude.
Well, all the research they got too from Pokemon Legends Arceus, right? Like,
yeah.
Arceus, just like
Arceus. Sword and Shield and Arceus. Yeah, these are really weird though. These are like some weird fucking Pokemon.
Yeah, why does this guy? They both have bike bodies, but only one of them uses the wheels.
I think you can.
They never showed the red one using the wheels before, but the violet one they use the wheels. Why would you make
I would want the purple one, just because it doesn't look as silly. You know, it's got tires, but you're not using them. Fuck are you galloping for, dude? Roll away. Yeah, it just looks weird. So I would just get the violet one, even though I like red. I would just get the other colored one, just because I know that bitch rolls around. You know?
I know. I was thinking the same thing. I was like, I'm just gonna buy the violet one because at least that one makes sense to me. I feel like I'm on a motorcycle. The other one is just trotting around with these wheels up its crotch, and it never uses them. It's like that's so weird. But anyways,
yeah, I'm gonna pause this
different or something.
Yeah, I'm gonna pause this real quick to address Aragnus conversation, his comment. We did mention that Stray was out, but you had to have like the extra and the premium in order to get it for free. Other than that, you're paying $25 for like a 4-hour game, something around that.
$30, yeah.
Yeah. $30 or so for that. That's cool that it's good, but I want that bitch for free. Like
I really do want to play Stray. Like I really, really do.
Yeah, I want to check it out.
It is a little odd to pay $30 for a 4-hour game, because I heard like even trying to make it long, it's like 4 hours is best you can do. But because that feels more like a $10 or $20 game to me. Like Inside is one of my favorite games ever, and I think I got that on sale for like $5, and that's one of the most brilliant 3-hour games I've ever played. And I loved every minute of Inside. And I'm sure Stray is like the exact same thing. Like I'm sure it's brilliant.
Didn't Inside just come out for
it's
Xbox
just hard to spend the full price for that short time, huh?
Didn't Inside just come out for Game Pass?
Yeah, I think you can get Inside for free either probably at some point in time through PS Plus or on Game Pass. But Inside's amazing.
I think it literally just came out on Game Pass. I'm gonna have to look at it.
Inside's like a brilliantly designed game. Like I can't say enough good about Inside, and it's like a 3-hour game. Like it's 3 hours at most. You'll finish it in an afternoon. Like I know, like that Stray is similar, and I wanted to play Stray. I was not expecting it to be that short, though. Honestly, like when they were talking about Stray in development, and when they first announced it, like I was thinking more like an 8 to 10 hour game. I was not thinking a 3 or 4 hour game. I really wasn't thinking it was like that short of a game. But I know that it's really good.
Yeah, it definitely has to be a solid game to make you want to like cats, man. I'm not a big cat fan, but I would think
I am a big cat fan.
Like, oh, what the fuck's a cat gonna do? That's like so entertaining. But like it seemed like some of the concepts on it were pretty cool. So, there's that. But,
we really wanted to play Stray, but we're kind of finding a window because I do think at some point in time it will be on PlayStation Plus.
Yeah. Maybe.
That's a lot to ask for a 3. I'm surprised it took them as long to develop it, being as short as it is. I was not expecting that length. That was really surprising, the length of time that game is. For as long as they were developing it.
Just reminds me of that Parks and Recreations episode where he did the claymation shit. You never saw that shit?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, well, that motherfucker had quit his job to do his dream, and he was making claymation art, and so he was gonna do like an animation thing, and he was gone for he had been out of work for maybe 5 months or something like that. And his boys came to visit him. It's like, "What's up, man? How you been?"
Let's see what you've been working on, dude.
He looks like dog shit tired. He's been up all night. He looks rough. And they're like, "Yeah, man, let's see what you've been working on and shit." And he's like, "All right, well, it's not quite done yet, but I'll show it to you." And it's just shit.
It's like 5 seconds.
It had the opening, and then it was literally a song like "When I Wake Up," and he literally popped up and swung the blanket off of himself when he was in bed, and went to turn to get out of the bed, and then the shit stopped. And they was like, wait. And then they rewinded it, played it again, and did the same shit. It was like, damn, this all you got? He's like, well, shit. I mean, I've been working on it for a while. I thought it was a little longer, but Straight was like, I probably had a little something more, but you got 4 hours for you.
This
like,
is all you got? 5 months of work.
Yeah,
that's really
shit,
funny,
dude.
but
back to this Pokemon shit, man. I definitely like that it was the open landscape. They kind of made it seem as if it wasn't a specific story, like a linear story. Like you could pretty much do it how you wanted it. And it was kind of like they made a linear story, but it involved the 3 main areas that you would, I guess, like go and be a battle champion or something like that. So at least there's that, you know what I mean? It's like I mean, in Arceus, you could go out into the field and just be out there for as long as you wanted, and you didn't have to progress through any of the story. You know what I mean? So this kind of has like that same feel. You know what I mean? So,
yeah, I think one of the things that I was hoping, or we don't know yet, but would have been really cool is if this was more open, like Breath of the Wild, rather than Arceus, because Arceus was like you entered a zone.
Yeah, like sectioned out.
Yeah, it was like a sectioned out open world. Where like Breath of the Wild was just open,
but it was still pretty big though. It was the areas to go out there was still pretty large.
Yeah, each zone was pretty big. I agree, but it would have been cool. Like imagine like you just out there exploring and you come across a town, right? And like in that town,
walk in the town,
battle, right? Like
for
that's
sure.
What would be
no cutscenes would be nice, no, like you got to leave this area to go to another area
and travel back, right? Like it would be cool, like. Of course, you want fast travel spots, but like not having to like load each zone as you run through it or travel to it. Like, and you just kind of like come across it and explore, and you find these cities. Because like this does seem like it's more populated, a little bit more full of life than like Arceus. Arceus was kind of like a dead world, but because they have like these cities and towns and people like walking around, like, and you have other trainers to fight, like this seems like way better to me. I'm excited for this.
The fact that you can do multiplayer in this is
a
big selling point, man.
That's crazy.
That you can just go out there into the game with somebody else, and it's not like you specifically can enter in a battle with them. You know what I mean? To like, hey, I'll send an invite to do this raid battle with you or something like that. Like you guys can literally be playing throughout the regular game, collecting Pokemon together and stuff like that. And I thought that was really sick.
It's crazy. It's almost like they had Legend Arceus as like a primer, almost like a demo for really this
game. We said that this has got to be like one of those testers, right? Where they just like they use this, see how people like it, and then they just evolve off of this. And it looks like that's exactly what they're doing.
Yep.
You know what I mean? They've totally evolved the way that the base Pokemon games will be from now on. They'll just be like.
We're never going to see a non-Arceus. Yeah, we're never going to see a non-full 3D open world Pokemon game again. Like this is the future.
Right.
Like this is how we're going to see Pokemon games.
Forward, and I feel like they'll probably do some money goblin shit to try to like bring out the old ones, like Pokemon Fire, Pokemon
that'd be
Yellow.
Cool.
You know what I mean? And then
remaking them this way.
Twist. Where you got like this Arceus type of world, that you're going in and stuff like that. I could definitely see them running it back again to do it.
Look at raid battles with allies. That's dope.
You enter.
That's what's cool, man. Like,
but this was the only thing that confused me though, because there's only one Pokemon that's in this raid battle. So technically, there should be only one ball that gets to catch this thing. If it's
only
possible
one person
gets
it.
So it seems like you would enter this raid battle and only one person would get it.
I don't know what you're actually earning, right? We don't know if it's like loot of some kind or the actual Pokemon.
Well, they said that you can try to catch it. Like if you succeed in defeating it, you have a chance to catch it. It's just like the raid battles in or those special little ones in Arceus where you can throw your ball and stuff like that. But it just seems like if I'm in the game with somebody, like if you're playing with me and then we go to one of these raid battles and we take this Pokemon out, it's only one Pokemon. You know what I mean? If you were on the server with somebody else, they're playing on their console or whatever, and it's like, they just happen to join in on a random one. It still seems weird, but it seems less weird because they've got like a different drop. They got like, it almost breaks into a whole different scene where I can't see you throw your Pokeball at it. You know what I mean? We all just fought it together. So I don't know how it's going to be with this one. If you can see me throw a ball at it, try to get it, and then that shit don't work, so you go and throw a ball, you know what I mean? And it's the first person who gets to catch it type shit, but I don't know.
Yeah. Or maybe like you're allowed to fight it again. So maybe like everyone gets a chance. So like we do one fight for you, one fight for me. Right? Like maybe it's something like that.
Yeah, like if you got to run it back a couple times, so like, hey, I got it. Now we're gonna run it back so you can have a chance to get it or something like that.
Right. Yeah. All I know is like this is definitely exciting. This is the direction we wanted it to go because we were talking back when Arceus came out. We were like, dang man, like I really hope this isn't like the Pokemon game we get for like the next 2 years, like because they skipped it to bring this out. We kind of want the traditional thing as well, and then they threw this on us. It was like such a pleasant surprise. Like in the exact same year, we get 2 full Pokemon games. Like that was like so cool. And it just seems like I feel like they saw the success of Arceus and we're like, okay, we have to launch this new one now because this is clearly what people want. And it's modern day. We're finally back to modern day, right? We're not back in like 2000
the ancient
years ago,
like pre times,
ancient pre times and stuff, and like it just feels good to be back, and like you get the Arceus experience in the modern day is like awesome.
I think that's probably why they just did like a Legends game, just to like try some new shit. And then it's like if it doesn't work, it wasn't part of like the regular series of games that they had. It wasn't a Sword and Shield, it wasn't a Fire and Emerald or something like that, Fire and Ice, a Gold and Silver, none of that shit. You know what I mean? So it doesn't fuck up the rotation that we have if people hate it, and then we can just figure out new things, and we can stick with the staple stuff, maybe keep some things that people like from Arceus in it, and then and put that in the new one and go
and the co-op is all new, right? Like in the past the only multiplayer was battles.
Yes,
you can actually
battles
run
and trades.
with
that was the only thing you could do is with another person is interact. But I can see the outfit that you put on, the Pokemon that you got, out of the ball rolling with you. You know what I'm saying? I get to see all of that, and we get to fight shit together. You know what I mean? So you're able to. I mean, if Nintendo ever adds mics to like just the game and not make you talk out of a separate system, then that's the money right there. You know what I mean? If I can chat with you while we're in the game, you know what I'm saying? Then, that makes it all better. But it still kind of sucks that I got to like call you from my phone or, chat with you through the app on my phone.
I know Nintendo's so backwards, man.
It would just allow you to do random, like how I can play, with some random person in Naraka and talk to them. And then, it's like, this person's cool. You know what I mean? I'll add them to my friends list or something like that. Like, you know what I mean? Maybe the next one will have it so you can just randomly meet people to join in on their game and then just go and fight Pokemon with them. And then
that'd be cool if there was like a party system, right? Where you can like, just find a party. I know you like doing that for sure. Like if there's a tough Pokemon, you can find a party to beat it or something like that.
And sometimes it's just like, certain people learn new tricks, like tricks that you never thought of or that you hadn't come across yet. And it's just like, oh, damn, you do it like that or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And, and they figure it out or something. And then they're able to put you on game. And then, you get like a whole bunch of Pokemon and you figure out a way to get all the shinies and shit like that, because they got tricks. It's tons of people on YouTube that you can watch for that. But sometimes like seeing the stuff, as you're playing the game or whatever, is cool. But yeah, so, I mean, I definitely like the direction that they've taken this. So it's dope that you finally get this evolved, this next gen version of the Pokemon games. So I'm looking forward to it, and it makes me want to buy it now. Because before I wasn't really gonna sweat it. But this might be a title that I'll pick up now. I just don't know when it's coming out. Do you know when it's coming out this year?
Yeah, I think it's like November. Okay. This might even clash with God of War, right? Like, which one do you get? Right. I think did they have the date at the end of this video of like when it comes out? I thought they did.
I don't remember seeing a date or anything of when it would release, but I could be wrong.
Like it's got to come right up here, right?
Oh, yeah, November 18th. Yeah, it's stupid shit.
So that's like right after God of War. So, I mean, I'm going to get both of them. I don't know if I'm going to get them like day one, but I'm definitely getting God of War day one. So
yeah, for sure.
This one either is going to be something that I get day one too, or I just wait until I'm done with God of War and I get it. But I'm definitely getting this one, like
right.
for sure.
Yeah, I mean, one thing about Nintendo, it ain't ever gonna drop in price. So you get it whenever you get it. That bitch gonna cost the same. The only thing you might be is inadequate when it comes to like battling, because motherfuckers will have like a crazier, juiced up Pokemon than you'll have. Because
they'll have this nasty squad and you can't beat anybody. Yeah, exactly.
Right. Yeah, but that's about it. But yeah, man, definitely an improvement for sure. So I like that.
Huge change of direction.
And I'm just glad, man. Yeah, and I'm just glad they're not bringing like some other shit back. Some old shit. Back, like to revamp it or something like that. Like I get so tired of that shit. But
the new generation of Pokemon, dude, it's cool.
Yeah, man. So yeah, that's it. That's all we got for this week's gaming news. Appreciate everybody for dropping by. Arachnid, Blue. Appreciate everybody who stops by the video and clicks like and happens to drop a comment. If you haven't yet, please subscribe. And until next week, we'll catch you guys later. Deuces, play Naraka.
Peace.
I love you, mate.